If you're making dice without a pressure pot, you're probably struggling with bubbles. A lot of bubbles. Trust me, I've been there. This magical contraption right here is called a pressure pot, but do you really need one? Today, I'm going to break down what it does, how it works, and whether or not you actually need to invest in one. First, let's clear up a huge misconception. A pressure pot doesn't actually remove bubbles from your dice. What it does do is shrink them so small that they cannot be seen by the human eye. When you pressurize resin while it cures, all those tiny air pockets get compressed. The higher the pressure, the smaller the bubbles become. And when they're small enough, you won't see them at all, meaning your dice will be crystal clear and flawless. Now, the big question. Do you actually need one? That depends on your goals. Hobbyists and casual dice makers. You're just making dice for fun, and you don't mind a few tiny bubbles, you can get by without one. There are other ways to minimize bubbles, like using a heat gun or a torch. You can warm your resin before you mix it, and while you're mixing, you can stir really slowly. This helps avoid trapped air. Some people even use vibration tables or warming mats to help the bubbles rise to the surface. But if you want to sell professional level dice, even occasionally, a pressure pot is the best investment you can make. Without it, you will constantly be battling air bubbles. And trust me, your customers will notice. My first pressure pot was actually this converted Harbor Freight paint pot. These are meant for painting, especially with auto body work, but they can easily be converted with just a couple additional items. There are tons of tutorials online about how to convert these, and I will link some that I have found on YouTube. And it just requires a little bit of work and patience. And it's a great way to save money if you're comfortable with doing a little bit of DIY. I still use this one. If you don't want to mess with modifications, you can use a pressure pot like this that is already set up for resin casting. These are usually more expensive, but it will save you the hassle of modifying everything. And this thing is a beast. I've had no problems with this pressure pot. This is the one from California Air Tools, which I do have linked in my items that I recommend below. And this does come in 2 sizes. So, talking about sizes, how do you choose which pressure pot you need based on size? Again, if you're not making a ton of dice and you want to save a little bit of money, I would recommend getting the smaller pressure pot. I am a full-time dice maker and I almost never fill up this one. So unless you're doing a ton of dice all at once or you're casting larger resin items, you can probably get away with saving yourself a little bit of money and going with the smaller pressure pot. Now, let's say you have decided to invest in a pressure pot. You're going to need to know how to use it safely and effectively. First, you'll need an air compressor. Your pressure pot won't work without one. This is the valve on mine where the hose connects. Make sure it's nice and snug so you don't get any leaks. You can use plumber's tape to seal this up if you do find that you're having issues with leaks. Before pressurizing your pot, you're going to want to take whatever resin you have poured and place it into the pressure pot. Next, secure the lid. Tighten the clamps evenly so the pressure is distributed properly. Basically, you want to tighten the clamp that's across from the other clamp at the same time before moving on to the other 2 clamps. And make sure they're all equally tightened. You don't want an uneven seal. Once the lid is on tight, you're going to use this little valve to release the air from your air compressor and slowly pressurize the pot. I set mine to around 35 psi for resin dice. Resin usually needs to cure for at least 24 hours inside the pressure pot, but this is going to depend on the type of resin you use. Once it's fully cured, you cannot just pop the lid open. You need to slowly release the pressure valve first, otherwise you'll get a loud and potentially dangerous surprise. A few quick tips before we wrap up. First, always check your pressure pot for leaks. If you hear a hissing sound coming from one of the places either on your air compressor or the pressure pot where it connects or coming from the hose, that's a sure sign you've got a leak. It could just be a simple loose connection that's not going to cause you a lot of problems. Some leaks are a lot slower than other leaks, but if you hear that hissing sound or you feel like you're losing pressure faster than you should definitely investigate and find that loose connection. Second, do not go over the recommended PSI limit on your pressure pot. Most resin dice do not need to cure above 30 to 35 PSI. There is absolutely no need to even be going close to the top end pressure that your pressure pot recommends. if you are using your pressure pot to pressurize silicone molds like I do, I just recommend going up an extra 10 psi. So if you're pressurizing your dice at 35 psi, 45 psi is more than fine for silicone, which is still well within that pressure pot limit that you're going to find on pretty much any pressure pot. Even my Harbor Freight pot can hold 50 psi. Setting your psi too high can cause serious damage and even injury. Most pressure pots are built with this little contraption that will pop if the pressure gets too high, releasing the pressure to your pressure pot. So that is a safety mechanism. Make sure you don't mess with that. It needs to stay on. It protects you. And finally, always make sure your pressure pot is set up in a well-ventilated area. I set mine up here in my garage with a fan that pushes all the fumes out towards my open garage door that I always keep open when I am casting. And in the summer, the windows are all open as well. So, do you need a pressure pot? If you're a casual dice maker and you have the patience to work around bubbles, you might be able to get away without one. But if you ever plan to sell dice or just want flawless results every time, this is the best tool you can invest in. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more resin dice making tips. And let me know in the comments, are you team pressure pot or are you team try every other method first? I'd love to hear what's working for you.